Hello, welcome to Lucy's Big Beautiful World of Painting. You're probably wondering why I'm standing here with this huge dustpan. Well, I made a method of doing acrylic pour paintings with this huge dustpan. I call it sheeting. The reason I call it sheeting because I'm going to pull the paint over the canvas. I don't have to pick it up and move it around so much, okay? So those of you that are familiar with pour painting, this is something that the paint comes out in a sheet, so I named my method sheeting, okay? It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really happy that you're going to be seeing it, okay? First, I am using all Deco Art products, okay? Deco Art has wonderful, wonderful pouring medium, top coat, the fluid acrylics, okay, in nice big bottles. When you start to pour, I know I did it, I bought little bottles to try everything. Don't do it. Go out and get the big ones. This art is addictive. Once you do one, you're going to want to do more, all right? And today, let me just tell you, I'm going to be using a 11 by 14 Frederick's canvas. This is a nice red label canvas, okay? It's a pro canvas, beautifully put together, sturdy. It has a medium grain on it. I'm afraid to use bigger grain with the pours because if you have a couple colors that maybe are a little bit too thin, you could see the grain, you might not like that. I like the idea of using this, especially you're putting a lot of paint on it. It's nice and heavy, okay? So I'll just move that over to the side. I have quite a few things to tell you. I hope that I can get through everything. So underneath my tray, I have a big tray underneath, okay? And you'll see that in a bit. I did put on a piece of the stuff you put under rugs. That'll make the tray not slide around in case you do decide to pick it up and move it around. This tray I have on top is just because I'd like to do an example of the top coat, okay? This is the clear pouring top coat. I want to do that first. I'm going to set that aside, and then at the end of the show, we'll come back and take a peek at it. So that's what I'm going to do first, just to get started here, okay? So this is a little pour painting that I did. I didn't really like it so much. I poured over an old oil painting, so I didn't get the cells that I wanted. So I figured, let's try to dress it up a little. I put some gold leaf on there, and now I'm just going to pour over it with this nice top coat, and hopefully that nice gloss will make me like it better. But it doesn't look that bad, okay? So I'm going to do that right now. So I have it leaning on a cup. After you pour on the medium, it should stay at a 90-degree angle, okay? Oh, sorry, 45 degrees. I have to actually look that back up. I think 45, okay? So that I would have to check again. But for now, here's about the angle it should be. And I'm just going to take this and just pouring along the top, all right? I have the tray underneath it, so it is going to just run down. I can take a popsicle stick and I can just spread this out. You can take a palette knife, all right? But just for the sake of doing this quickly, I'm gonna pour a little more here. This is going to give it a nice, beautiful coating, and I'm hoping it's enough time by the end of the show that you actually will get to see it. Okay, I'm not gonna fuss with the sides right now, but if I was doing this, I would do the sides, all right? And let's make sure I get that spread out there. I'm just going to spread it out, and then I can go back and pour a little more on top, all right? So just like if you're pouring, you can move this around, all right? And we can get some on. Well, that might be too much, all right? Sorry. I kind of just spilt it out of there. But just like if you're pouring, I want to get this all over, all right? Putting this nice thick layer on, so this way it looks like a resin. So, sorry. I'm turning it towards me. Let me turn it this way, all right? And sorry if I cut off a little bit there. Check back in a minute and we'll get it to the right position so you can see well. Okay, so now I have this all over. Like I said, I'm not going to fuss with the sides, okay? I'm just going to leave that. I have a tray inside a carrier. So when you do these in your house, by all means, I would get one of these. Look, it has the handles. You can just pick it right up, move it over, and that's it. All right, so I would just definitely pick up a couple of those. Now, I'm just going to wipe this off. I did get it on me. All right, I'm going to wipe it off my gloves and wipe off my bottle a little bit and close that back up. I've never been known to be a neat artist, that's for sure, but I will try to neaten up a little so you can see everything good. There we go. So now, on to the pour, all right? What I have here is a big tray, okay? Obviously bigger than the canvas I'm using, all right? Again, the Fredericks Canvas Red Label. I found these flat ice cube trays. You can see they're flat, all right? The whole design of them. And I'm going to catch the paint in these ice cube trays. The reason why I'm going to do that is if you leave the runoff paint in these cubes for a couple of weeks, the cubes will get hard, and if you're really crafty, you can slice up those cubes, all right, and you can use them in your mixed media projects. You can carve them into jewelry, put a nail through it, and you can even string them up, okay? So there's a lot of things you can do if you have that thick paint. You just have to let it dry thoroughly. So I let my paint run off into the ice cube trays in the hopes of doing some other projects with them, okay? And jewelry is one of the things that I think would really work well with that, all right? So I'm gonna get started mixing the paint, all right? So here is a variety of colors, and I have these little glasses that I found that have the measurements on them. Now, it's good to use these because if you're going to do a lot of the pours, you're going to use so much plastic, okay? So every once in a while, if you can use these, we'll try to spare the environment a bit by not putting so much plastic out there. So I'm going to start to fill those up. I'll move this out of the way. All right, so the ratio is 2 to 1, okay? So it is 2 parts paint to 1 part medium. So with these glasses, it makes it very easy, okay? So I can see here, I have 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. So since it's 2 to 1, if I do 4 tablespoons of paint, then it would be up to the 6 with the medium, all right? So I'm thinking, maybe, let's see, I like the idea of having a lot of paint, okay? So I'm just going to start to pour this in, all right? And look at this beautiful, beautiful rich color. I am going up to the 4. Now, I don't want you to worry if it's not exact, okay? When you do your own project, what's going to happen is you're going to find what's best for you. You may say, you know what, I want to put a little bit extra pouring medium and see what happens. So I'm just going to turn the glass a little because I lost my little spots that I was on, and I'm just going to pour in the medium. I got a little bit more than 4, okay? So I did go a little bit over 7. Not going to worry about that, all right? So let me take this cover off. So I'm just going to go and pour out the rest of my colors, all right? And here is a nice red color, all right? When I'm doing a pour, I like the idea of having one extreme dark and one extreme light, which means either a dioxazine purple or a black with a white or an off-white, okay? Because the colors, when they go around, you know, along the cells, what ends up happening is the white or the lighter color will actually look like it's outlining, okay? So I lost my guideline again, and there we go, up to about the 4 there, all right? And I think what I'll do is I'll put all the paint in first. I did yellow. And then I'll go back and put the pouring medium in, okay? So stick with me. It takes a little bit of time, and then I'm going to start putting it into this big dustpan. So now I can see how much I went a little over. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. Look at this beautiful color. Just in case, this one is cobalt teal hue. That is an outrageous looking color, okay? So I'm going now with the dioxazine purple, all right? Same thing. There is the dioxazine purple. And like I said, right now I'm not going to worry so much if it's not exact amounts. I'm putting a little bit less purple because I don't want that much of the purple. It takes over. It's a very, very strong color. But, oops, Oh, what did I just do? I accidentally mixed some pouring medium in there by accident, okay? So I didn't see that I had that there, so I'm just gonna move that over, and I think what I'll do is I'll add a little bit more to the other cups just to make sure I have enough. I didn't realize that was pouring medium and not white paint, all right? So here we go. So there is my purple, and there is my pouring medium. Now this I'm going to put all the way up there because I can see how much was in that yellow, so I really don't have to look at the sides. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to even add a little bit more. Now, I do have to make one more color because I probably won't have enough, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'll just take this little, I'm just going to take this little cup, okay? This is just improvising right now since I made a boo-boo with my paint, okay? Now, I'm going to pick which color I like the best, all right? And I think that I like that blue, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little extra blue. I want to make sure that, that I have enough, okay? So I'm going to squeeze in that much there, all right? I'm going to take my pouring medium. I'm just estimating now, all right? And there we go. There is my pouring medium. Now I'm going to move all of this stuff over to the side because I'll be done with this for now. All right, there we go. And I have a little bit of black, but a black bottle. I'm going to leave the black bottle out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir these. All right, and you can see just stirring it up. Doesn't that look great? Okay, here's the red. Now, the red, you can really see the medium, okay? That mixed in quicker. So we want to make sure that that medium is fixed in. So if you have to stir it like 30 or 40 times, you keep stirring it until that medium is mixed, okay? So I can see it in there. I'm going to scrape it off a little bit. For the sake of the show, I'm not going to worry if it's not all mixed in. It's still going to work beautifully, okay? Now, I'm just stirring up this blue and the yellow. All right, and I have these popsicle sticks in there. It doesn't matter if they're colored because they ran out of the other ones at the thrift store. So I got the color ones, and it doesn't do anything. The color doesn't come off them. So don't worry, you don't have to get those. Okay, the ones that don't have the color. So I'm just stirring this up. All right, now I'm going to put in. I use treadmill lubricant. Some people use glue. Some people just add water. This paint is not necessary to add water. This is really very specific to this project, okay? The media fluids, you don't have to sit there and fuss with the water, all right? So that really helps. And you can see the pigment goes a long, long way because it's just such a rich, rich color. Now, I'm going to just drop a few drops in each, all right? So 3, 4, 5. Now this is something that you're going to experiment on your own with, all right? Now, it's not a science, so what's going to happen is, I think depending on humidity and the air and all that, sometimes you get a lot of cells, sometimes you don't. But you'll come up with your own way of doing things to your liking to see that, you know, you'll get a lot of cells if that's what you like, okay? So now I'm stirring the treadmill lubricant in. All right, I'm just making sure I stirred each one here. There we go, stirring them all. This one's a little hard to stir since I have it in that little dish, all right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way, I think. Let me get some of this out of the way for you. Move this out of the way, all right? I want to make sure that you have a pretty good view. I'll move these here. So my dustpan here, I have leaning against my, my tray. Now, this is a cookie sheet, a heavy cookie sheet. Okay, I have it leaning here. So therefore, there's an angle, so the paint is going to come here. It is going to come up to the front, of course, but it is leaning on the end there, all right? So that's what's going to help, okay? I have my ice cubes in place there. So what I'll do is I will start pouring this paint out, okay? There we go. Now, when I pour the paint, it's no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to go back and forth. Look at that beautiful rich color. Now, we are going to get some drips there. It's okay. And it doesn't even matter if I were to drip on top of my painting, okay, because we're going to just go right on top of it. Now, you know, at home, set yourself up so you don't maybe have to lean over it. That'll be easier. You know, in my studio here, I'm, you know, just winging it a little bit just to make sure I get this lesson out for you. All right, so you can see I'm just pouring the paint out in the colors that I have here. All right, now I notice sometimes you drip. You can just drip. It helps breaking up the cells. Some of the paint, see, I did get a drip on there. You'll see that won't matter. I like this blue. I'm just going to pour the blue. It's all going to end up mixing together. All right. I do just try to make a little bit of a separation between the colors. All right. And actually, I could just put that right there. All right. I'm going to get a little more red. I can see already that some of it is starting to break up. Okay, which means that the cells are starting to form already, even in the dustpan. All right, it's so cool to do this. It's so much fun. Like I said, you need everything in large size. There's no use getting a small size with this one, all right? Back, you can see I'm just kind of back and forth. What it looks in this dustpan is not necessarily going to be what it looks like when it goes on the canvas, okay? Because we are changing the structure of it by moving it and by pulling it, like I said, in a sheet, all right? So sorry about my hand going over that. Keep watching and you'll see parts that my hand is not in the way there. And look at this red, it's beautiful. Now this is so much fun, believe me. Fun, fun, fun to do this, all right? Let me get some yellow, and only a couple more minutes and I will be doing my sheeting method on this fantastic canvas, okay? And let's get all of it out. Now I'm not going back and forth between the colors in any particular way, all right? Just going back and forth. And I can see the colors are just outrageous, all right? I just wanna, it's important to make sure that you have enough paint. You're better off having too much paint than too little. So unfortunately, that's something that you'll have to just, you know, see how it goes. In this method, you do need to make sure you have enough paint if you don't want to pick up your painting and move it around. All right, so now I'm just using this and getting the rest of it out, all right? I don't want to waste any. I want to make sure I have it all out. All right, so you can see some is big drips, small drips, and you'll see how it comes out on the canvas. You'll be really pleasantly surprised. Now, you can use the cheaper craft paints if you want to, and you'll get some good, you will get, you know, some good results and all. You want to try a couple of the Deco Art paints and see what you like and all, okay? I like this because it's just so much easier. And you can see these colors. I'm sorry, if you use, you know, the other really, really inexpensive ones, you're not going to get this pigment. You're not going to get this coloring, okay? So I really like the blue. I want to make sure that we have enough paint. If we don't, that's okay. I will show you what to do when we don't have enough paint, all right? Let me get this all out of the way. And you can see I'm pretty messy there. All right, here we go. Let me try to get this a little bit off. Now, you can see in the dustpan, it's already starting to break up a little. Now, in my sheeting method, what I want to do is I want to pull it across so I don't have to pick up the canvas that much. It's okay, I pick it up a little bit. I like this because you find a canvas that is at least within the perimeter of the dustpan, okay? So that makes the sheeting method. You're just pulling it in a sheet, all right? So here we go. I'm just going to place this here. I'm letting the paint come to the side, all right? And I'm going to let it just come right across, all right? In this straight row. I'm letting it pool up a little, then pulling it, all right? So now I see at the end, I almost didn't make it, so I'm a little bit short on paint, but that's okay. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is, usually I would run this as fast as I can into my utility sink. But here, I'm just going to put it in a big bag and get it out of the way. to avoid any issue with it. Now, I'm going to take one of these little rubber things, all right, which you can get at any thrift store, and where I see that I missed my canvas, I'm coming along here. Now, some people like to just do it with their fingers, okay, and I'll do this side so this side of the camera can see, can get a good view. I'm just tapping it. I'm just tapping it. I see some nice blue here. I can pick that up, tap, tap, tap. All right, my students are going to laugh when I do that because I always do that, tap, tap, tap. Now, I can't tell if I missed any over here, and I could look at that later, okay? I don't want to run out to the front. Now, this, of course, you would just throw right into a water basin if you have it. Now, what I want to do is, I see how it's stretched out a little, so I am just going to tip it just a little bit this way. All right, just a little bit. I'm going to let that go. And because I like this portion better, so you can see it's not like the regular pour where you have to pick it up and move your paint back and forth. I'm just doing it this way. I like the idea of the lining and all. Now you can see my ice tray getting full, okay? And that's something that I will save, all right? The ice tray filling is what you can use for your other projects, all right? So I see a little bit of a bubble in there, and you can see I'm just tapping it with my finger, okay? That's it. Now, in a little while, you'll see even more cells starting to come, all right? And that's the medium separating from the treadmill lubricant. All right, so there we go. And the beautiful, beautiful colors. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off my gloves. The way I'm taking off my gloves is inside out, all right? Oops, it's a little wet, so I missed the end there. If you do it inside out, you have less chance to get it on you. There we go. Inside out, okay? So I managed not to get it on my hands that time, just a little. Now, I have a little bit of a blowtorch. What you can do with the blowtorch is you can very gently go into spots and it will open up more cells, all right? So here we go with the blowtorch, all right? So let's see. Sometimes it opens a few more cells, sometimes it doesn't. I can see it just separating some a little bit there. All right, let's see if we can get a few more to open. And it looks like it's just separating the paint a little. I got a couple of little cells opening. Yep, I do see a couple. Okay, so you may not be able to see this, but what you'll do is you'll get your little torch, okay? I suggest you get one with this rounded section here, all right? And it's easier to hold, okay? Now, you don't want to stay in any place, all right, because it will start to burn. So I'm just going around, and I'll try it on an angle, try to get a little closer, and I can see it just changing a little bit. Not that much, but a little, okay? Sometimes you get lucky, and it opens up these huge cells, and sometimes it doesn't, okay? So I'm going to put my torch down, and that is it for this one. So this one I'll let dry a couple weeks, and then I will do the top coat on it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way, all right? Just going to put it down here on the floor, and I'm going to show you something else, all right? So now, my canvas I had before, okay, oh, here you can see the nice underneath there. I have some towels too. My canvas from before, okay, you can see it's starting to dry up here. You can see it's starting to get a beautiful, beautiful shine to it, okay? So, unfortunately, I have to move this out of the way. All right, I'm just going to move right over here. All right, there we go. And it can continue to drip down on there, okay? So, what I'm going to do is I want to show you something else that I found. When I go looking through the stores, I find different things and I'm saying, oh, you know what? I have to try that. So this time I'm just going to be using these little cups to hold my canvas on, all right? So I'm going to do another little one, okay? But what I want to do with this one is I actually found this inexpensive mixer where it has this ring top, or whatever you would call this, wheel top. And I noticed that when you put the paint in here and then you pour it out, the cells kind of open because it kind of breaks up from this round wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour out a little bit of paint, okay? And I'm not going to measure right now. I'm just going to kind of eye it up, all right? Just for the sake of time, I want to get another little project out there for you, okay? So since my explanation was in the beginning, I figured this way we could just do a little quick one at the end. Now that was black and I just threw it right in with the purple, all right? So I'm just going to get a little more in there and a little more blue, all right? And I'm going to whip this one out real fast, all right? Let me get my pouring medium. Again, I'm just kind of eyeing it up this time, which you can do once you get used to it, okay? There we go, and a little in the purple. I'm gonna stir that up real fast. And I'm going to just do a real fast one in this, this cup that I found, okay? Now, these things, these glasses, the cups, they can all be washed out, and that's the best way to do it, all right? This way you're not wasting. I like the idea. I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's a little bit sloppier, but if you just throw it in a bin of water with some soap and water, you're good, okay? So I put a few drops in there. All right, I'm gonna stir these up real fast. I'm gonna pour them into this cup faster than I did that dustpan. Okay, I'm gonna take this all out and gonna pour it in, get it in there, and then real quickly I am going to pour it onto this canvas just to show you. All right, and just about done. And this is going to be the conclusion of today's show. And I hope that you'll come and see my other shows, okay? And I have lots of new shows featuring the beautiful deco art products. And this is it now. All right, here we go. So I'm going to pour this out. That'll be it for today. And you'll have another example and another idea. I hope that you will try this on your own. And oops, I got it outside the cup that time. I hope that you will try this on your own and give pouring a shot. Just going to wipe off my hands real quick here. All right. It can be a little sloppy, of course. Now, I'm putting this pinwheel back in here, or this little circle, not sure what that's called there. Putting on this lid to it. And like I said, this is very inexpensive, this one, so you can use it a couple times, throw it away. So I have all of my paint in there. You can take a look at that, okay? And now with this, what I can do is just come here and pour it on. All right, I'm going to try to get to those edges. And that's it for this. And again, I'll take another one, and I could just come over. I can come down in that bottom, and there's some of the cover in there, the top coat covering, and that's okay. Now you can see this one, I put a little bit of black in there and with that purple, and you can see how that changes the dynamics of it. And I can't tell if I missed a spot over there, but I do like the idea of using this. You know, this is what you just use for barbecue sauce on the grill. Now if you need more, you just go in the bottom, pick it up, and that is it, okay? Again, I can try to come in with the torch. I see some cells opening. Oh, now this one, oh, I'm glad I did this, because this one you can tell the torch is making the cells open more. See, so it's sometimes you get the cells, sometimes you don't. I hope that you can see that. I am getting much more cells on this, okay? Now also you saw that I really didn't have to tip it much. And that's because I had plenty of paint. The trick to this is if you don't want to tip it, then make sure you use plenty of paint. Now look at the cells opening on this. Okay, so I'm going to close the show right now with this and say, please come over to the world of deco art and media acrylics, and I guarantee you will love it. Buy the big products, don't buy the small ones, because it is addicting. Even now I feel like doing another one. So come find me on Facebook and take a look at my other shows. Thanks again for tuning in.